Here.
Councilman Fazio?
Here.
Councilman Hopperson?
Here.
Supervisor Lennon?
Present. First, I'd like to start with a moment of silence for Wayne Harris, who was a past councilman, I believe, past county legislature, who was very involved with the community. So I would ask the audience to please have a moment of silence. And Bart. Okay. First thing of order, I have to read this resolution. Resolution number 39. This resolution is to propose establishing the Plattekill Ambulance District. At a regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Plattekill held on August 5th, 2026, resolution subject first referendum is abstract below. We adopt by majority vote of the Town Board pursuant to Article 12 and 12-A Town Law of the State of New York after a public hearing. Whereas it having appeared to the Town Board of the Town of Plattekill that the establishment of an ambulance district to provide for the provision of emergency medical services, including ambulance transportation services, is both necessary and desired. And whereas the Town Board caused to be prepared, filed, and published where required a notice of hearing, order, map, plan report, and a detailed explanation for the proposed ambulance district. Whereas in having appeared the Town Board of the Town of Plattekill at the public hearing on the matter held on July 1st, 2026, and kept open until July 15th, 2026, for written submissions that, 1, the notice of hearing was properly published and posted. 2, the proposed Plattekill Ambulance District that includes all areas of the Town of Plattekill will benefit all property and property owners within the boundaries of the ambulance district. 3, all of the property and property owners benefited by the ambulance district are located within the limits of the ambulance district. And 4, the establishment of the ambulance district is in the public interest. Now therefore be it resolved that during its regular meeting conducted on August 5th, 2026, the Town Board of the Town of Plattekill determined by and in accordance with this resolution that 1, the public hearing concerning the proposed establishment of the Plattekill Ambulance District was properly noticed and conducted as required by law. 2, that the establishment of the Plattekill Ambulance District that includes all areas of the Town of Plattekill will benefit all property and property owners within the boundaries of the ambulance district. 3, all of the property and property owners benefited by the establishment of the ambulance district are located within the limits of the ambulance district. And 4, the establishment of the ambulance district is in the public's interest. Be it further resolved upon passage of this resolution and the satisfaction of all conditions preceded, the Town Board so established the Plattekill Ambulance District as so provided for herein. Be it further resolved that the resolution is subject to first referendum. The foregoing resolution to establish the Plattekill Ambulance District was approved subject to permissive referendum. A copy of the entire resolution is available for inspection in the office of the town clerk during regular business hours. So I would like to make a motion that we adopt this resolution for the townwide ambulance district.
I'll second it.
Any discussion, gentlemen? On the vote? Aye. Oh, okay. All right. You want to do the minutes, Joe?
Make a motion to not read the minutes from the last meeting.
I will second that motion.
On the vote?
Approve the minutes.
Is that for the resolution or for the minutes?
For the minutes.
The resolution. And the minutes.
delayed, response.
Oh, that was Larry.
Oh, delayed reaction. Anyway, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. On the vote?
Aye.
You guys have any additions? I guess next, is the training, deadline date. I believe we were talking about possibly an October date.
I believe we came up with October 15th.
Okay. Is that,
Do you
October
remember, Joe?
15th for this year, and April 1st
The next year.
for next, starting 2027 and on.
Okay, yeah, the second to 3 months to do their training.
Yeah, that's the first order.
okay, so why don't we put that in motion, and then we'll have it. So this,
So I'll make a motion that the training deadline for all town employees for required federal and state and town training for the year 2026 will be October 15th. And from the year 2027 on will be April 1st.
I'll second it. Excuse me, we're in motion right now, hold on. Any discussion, Ellen?
No.
On the vote?
Aye.
It's training,
The state requires workplace harassment, sexual harassment, all the typical trainings that every job has.
Cybersecurity,
So we just wanna make it where there's a deadline to it, so you're not gonna follow the deadline.
Instead of doing it at the end of the year, we'll do it for the end of the year.
Cross the T's, dot the I's.
the next topic on the agenda, because it's been brought up before, Flag Day having, both parties having, political booths, so I know it's been discussion back and forth, so I don't know, how the board feels about it.
I don't think there's too much back and forth, this is a meeting, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I think this was discussed, and people in the audience did not like the idea of having political parties. And we kind of agreed that if you don't wanna have the parties there, it's fine with us, we won't have any political parties there. And their tent set up, for Flag Day.
Excuse me? It will be, but we're discussing it.
Because actually, if we go back, I mean, we'll vote again, because my memory, you never have.
Honestly, I thought we voted on it.
I thought we voted on it, but
Did we?
we can do it again, it's no problem.
Judy really is the one that brought it up, and I know I agree with it, but I don't think it was a vote, it was just that we were looking to see what we kind of wanted.
We can vote tonight, no problem.
So do you want a motion on it? Yeah, probably.
I have no problem with voting.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion that political parties will not be in attendance at Flag Day. It should be a non-political event.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Any more discussion?
No.
On the vote? Aye. You have a resolution here, for minor, farms. I know Patty came in a couple months ago,
I
and,
can't read that resolution yet. We're
yeah,
at 41 here, so we'll get to number 40.
well, that's the number that's on it. Where's 40? Put it in numerical order. Where's 40? Hmm? I don't see it.
Resolution 40 is
Is what?
The DSA.
Oh, okay, well, then we didn't get to that, so then. Alright, well, we are, so if anything,
As long as you're gonna do all the resolutions.
I will, so we'll just change the number, right?
no, just leave it.
Just go out of order. If you're
Okay, okay. Alright, then, I guess we'll go into new business then. We're gonna do that, just go down.
We just said we were gonna go out of order.
But, so you wanna just do that and skip it and go back? Okay, okay. So, first of all, someone asked to be put on the agenda to address that, so, is it Olivia Barton? I see your name right? Okay. So, you're on the agenda, so you can address the board with, your concerns.
So it's my first time here, do I stand up?
You can give your name to the record.
Sure. Just so you know, I'm a little nervous, so sorry,
It's
but you
okay.
guys seem very nice, okay. So my name is, Olivia Barton, I'm here I'm here to ask the town board to pass a resolution and submit the required TE 9A form so that the New York State Department of Transportation can conduct a traffic engineering speed study on Church Street. I'm not just here with me, I'm here with neighbors, friends, family, and 182 signatures, that all agreed that it is extremely dangerous. Just this year alone, 2026, there's been 2 overturned cars, one directly in front of me, directly in front of Hopstead, where my children witnessed it, and I had to pull the man out of the car, very dramatic. I also, last year, had a car smash into my side yard. Countless people have talked to me, wrote to me, mailboxed me, and taken out, and our good police officers are patrolling the area, but the speed limit itself is just way too high, and, I spoke to, the Department of Transportation, and they said that I need to come to you, my palace, and that you needed to submit the form so that, sorry, my mom's script's a little shaky, I'm sorry. So that the New York State Department of Transportation can conduct a traffic engineering and speed study on Church Street. I have here, if you're interested in all of the signatures, the petitions, should I?
Yeah.
Turn it into people.
No, we, well, yeah,
I have one really quick too, and then as well as, the information from church, from the department, and I also asked for a, oil from the state, and still have not received anything back from them. So, I'm here, and thank you so much for listening and hearing our concerns.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Badler has a report on Church Street also.
Well, first of all,
Excuse me, this is Chief
I'm
Lopez.
Chief Lopez, nice to meet everybody if I haven't met you. Supervisor Lembo immediately got a hold of me on the first complaint. We, Church Street is very curvy. First thing I did is I called Bobby Wager, the highway superintendent, I said, I only see 2 speed signs, posted speed signs, so he immediately addressed that, he put more speed signs up, and he also cleaned brush around there. I have Detective Badner here, one of my 2 detectives, I signed him the case. He's gonna read you the study that we've been doing on that street. I think that it's very revealing on what's going on, because sometimes, I don't wanna bring up the Christian Doppler series about radar and all that. There's things called the angular effect, that cars seem like they're going faster than they are. It's all studied in radar, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm just saying this is what our study shows. Because we have speed limit signs that are flashing, they also collect data for us. And that enables us to enforce in certain areas. And by the way, we have quite a few speeding complaints. I just, put 2 more guys on a radar detail. I'm also sending 2 more new officers on a radar, because that's our primary thing, is controlling traffic here. We have 32, we have 44, 55, and I mean, everybody's gotta slow down. But I drive an unmarked car, so I know what you're saying, as far as speeding, but, Detective Wagner, would you read in the study, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who are familiar with the area, you may have seen those feedback signs. You may have seen those feedback signs telling you how fast you're going. We had 3 different locations, well, 2 locations, one of them had 2 different time frames. So at front of 57 Church Street, sign catching westbound traffic was up between April 24th and May 20th, and then again on July 17th to August 4th. So it's still up there now, but I have the data from yesterday, so it's the day is ending yesterday. Those coincide with the change in the traffic patterns because of 32 and 300, the paving they were doing. People were using Church Street, Hunt Road, and Quaker to bypass all that. That being said, the first cycle, April 24th through May 20th, the average number of cars that went down the street westbound on Church Street was 290 per day. The maximum recorded speed was 65 miles per hour. Don't know what time it was. It could have been an ambulance, could have been a police car, could have been any number of emergency response vehicles. It doesn't distinguish that. It also could have been the guy that rolled his car in front of your house. We're not sure which car it was. However, the average speed in that time frame of all traffic was 33.8 miles per hour.
Exactly.
33.8. The speed limit is 40.
Right, but I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Let me finish, okay? So 85% of the traffic was below 40 miles per hour in that time frame. Only 35 vehicles were above 50. That's 35 too many, don't get me wrong, but in the grand scheme of things, 99% of the traffic was compliant. So, the peak times for volume and speed violations, however, 2 PM to 7 PM was our peak number of volume and peak speed violations. Okay, so those are the time frames we're talking about. That's important because that's when kids are getting off buses. The second round, on 57 Church Street, between July 7th and August 4th, the average number of vehicles actually dropped by 287, going westbound. The max speed was 68, again, we're not sure when or who was. Average speed decreased to 33.77. 85% of the vehicles were below 40. 37 vehicles reported vehicles above 50 over that time period. Again, the same time period was 2 PM to 7 PM, and again, right around lunchtime. So that jump up coincides with the detour that was set up. Now, we also put one at 48 Church Street facing, collecting eastbound traffic, so coming off of Quaker back towards 32. That was also July 22nd to August 4th. The average number of cars going eastbound was quite a bit higher, 417 cars were going the other direction in the same time frame. The max speed was a little bit lower at 59, the average speed was even lower, 32.9. 85% of the vehicles were below 38 miles an hour. And only 7 vehicles were reported above 50. Same peak times though, at 11 to 1, and then 2 PM to 7 PM. So, that's what we got from this sign. We can get into greater detail if need be, but that's the basic numbers that needed to be brought out, in our opinion. So,
May I just,
that's up to them.
thank you so much for doing that and for telling us that I think that what we are all here saying is that the actual speed limit itself of 40 miles an hour is too high on the road. That's what we're saying, not necessarily the speeders, right? We all agree it's not necessarily the speeders per se, it's the actual speed limit itself, which is what we are proposing with that, the request. So thank you.
So if the average normal person who drives on that road is driving at 33,
Correct.
doesn't it make sense to have a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit for 35? I find it difficult to drive on that road at 40.
That's
I
not
mean,
really
if you're doing 40 going around those turns, you're.
That's gotta be done by the state.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you just state your name for the secretary?
Carlos, John Ray, I live on, Forest Road.
Thank you.
When the state comes in and do a survey, they're gonna do the same exact thing we just did. They'll put machines in different areas of the roadway.
They'll have the tubes across the street.
Right, and the buzzer on both ways, they'll record the same thing basically.
They also would extract all of the accidents on the road in the past 5 years,
Right.
there were many accidents.
They take a 5-year period,
Yeah.
they take a 5-year period, conduct a survey, and then they would go on the request of the town, what they suggest the town or the resolution would be at that time. And then a board from DOT would sit down and say, we agree with the town, we agree with our data that we got, on average of, they may change it to 35 miles an hour on their app, because they're seeing an average of 33.
Yeah.
So they may still go 35. So we might go from 40 to 35, but the request, I would assume they go to 30, but that's again with the town board.
Also keep in mind that these numbers, like the chief said, are based on straight lines. We did it on the straightaways because radar doesn't really work around corners.
Yeah.
So that's the fastest part of that stretch. So you gotta keep that in the back of your mind as well. Those curvy parts toward the west eastern end, speeds are gonna be quite a bit lower.
And we have a copy if, if anybody's interested in, we can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
What about all the,
State your name, please.
what about all the unauthorized bikes that are on the road, that are, motorbikes that have no license plates, and ATVs that are just zooming up and down Carter Road, South Road, all those roads are just getting inundated, even by where the gun club is, they're just getting inundated by these people that, they're just flying on these ATVs and dirt bikes and,
They fly on Highway 2.
yeah.
Supervisor, can I if you pursue them and they crash, town's gonna be paying money, because they're gonna get sued. So my thing is, if they can follow them, and even if they pull in their driveway, officer's gonna walk up, driver's license, registration, or I don't have any, impound the ATV, story done, but we can't chase them. We do have new ATVs that we require for drug seizure money, but they're not to be used for pursuits. We had, the golf course burglary in the past, and they stole golf carts, and they had crash derbies in the woods. So we have those primarily to go where other vehicles can't. So we're gonna be patrolling the woods. There's a lot of woods and there's a lot of trails. That's why, but as far as pursuing these guys, it's very tricky. I mean, especially in this state. I think everybody sees, you know, they're doing wheelies.
As soon as they see the cops, they're darting into the woods, and that's.
Just give the best description we can to somebody. You call them, give us the best description you can. And you know where they live? Tell us where, I think it's Johnny Jones. He was at whatever. And we'll go look at the machine that fits that description in the driveway. I mean, that's where we start at.
And we've actually sent officers to these known locations and try to speak to the parents about it. Sometimes we get a good response. Sometimes we say, well, did you catch him? You know, just being smart. So eventually we will. The unfortunate thing is most of these guys don't have helmets on, so if they hit something, I don't know what to tell you. It's not safe. I drive an ATV because I hunt. I have ATVs in our police department. We have safety gear, helmets, the whole 9 yards. Those can go up to 60, 80 miles an hour, the ones on the street. And my biggest complaint is parents, because a lot of these are kids. And, you know, they've got to control these kids. And we're not gonna pursue them, like I said, we'll follow them, even if they pull in their driveway, we're yanking them. And chances of them recovering it after they pay all the tolls and the storage fees are probably not gonna do it. So that's, you know, just wanna make clear on that, we don't pursue. It's part of our policy in our department, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's in terms, you know, like if they're still in front of you and then you run them over, because they're like, oh, you never know, because they cut you off, and all
Yeah.
this stuff, you're like, what the heck, you know? Like, you want to see yourself.
Okay, well, at this time, I'd like to make a motion, for resolution number 40, requesting that the New York State Department of Transportation, Region 8, Traffic and Safety Department, and the Ulster County Highway Superintendent to conduct an engineering study to reduce the speed limit on Church Street in Platicville. Whereas this area does not have sidewalks for safety, walking along the street, and has become a life safety concern. The town of Platicville believes the conditions and turns on the road necessitate a slower speed limit. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby requests that the New York State DOT Region 8 Traffic and Safety Division conduct a speed study to lower the speed limit and forward a copy to the town highway superintendent. So I made a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion, gentlemen?
Nope.
On the vote? Aye.
Remember it as, I do have.
So I guess we go back to resolution. Yes, sir?
Ask the town and yourself for executive 10 minutes. Personnel matter. Yes.
Sure, it's gonna be 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I don't wanna leave everybody hanging here.
If I can just borrow them for 10 minutes, I promise we'll be in and out.
Okay. All right, then I'll,
One other thing on the speeding.
what,
Okay, well, we're.
I'll make a motion, we go into,
Before you,
what?
I listen to my radio every day, obviously I'm here every day, and what I hear, 911 to car and Saugerties, there's an report of an erratic driver speeding. I don't see Platicville residents doing that. You guys gotta call 911 and they'll dispatch us. If you see somebody driving erratically or not safe, call it in, that's your right. And they'll dispatch us and my guys will respond. But I don't hardly ever hear Platicville residents. I hear everybody else, and it happens daily.
I've heard, yeah, I've taken a call from.
Okay.
That's the last couple of weeks.
Okay, well,
Always complaining.
I'll make a motion 7:25, that we go into executive session for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, sir.
Vote?
Aye.
All right, let's go. Excuse us.
All right, go ahead.
We did that. Hold on. Training that we did. Yeah. Broadband, we did.
Okay.
We have to do, mileage. Okay. Whatever you wanna do. You ready? I'll make the motion at, 7:38, that, we came out of, executive session. On the vote? Aye. Okay. Councilman Casey, you want to do this?
Yeah, when we were talking about old business, something I missed, and, I believe we voted on something, it was either October or November, before you were in office. It was about taking $150,000 out of, what do you,
Unallocated fund.
fund balance, to put into a building fund. Because all these years we've been talking about a building, we never do anything, because we started out with nothing on the line. And we had talked about it, and we're like, well, we take the money, put it into an account with the highest interest we could get, and then build upon that. And I don't believe, well, the money was never transferred, correct?
Not that I know.
So I'm just wondering when we could do that.
Well, what I'll do is I'll ask our bookkeeper what we need to do to probably have a resolution.
That was already done.
It was?
It hasn't been moved.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just have to move it.
okay, well, I'll ask her what we need to do to move it, and if
Okay.
that's all it takes, and, I'll get on it. But,
I mean, at least that way we're using the money for something instead of taking $300,000 like you used to.
Mhm.
And just, okay, we keep taxes a little lower and we didn't even get much for it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Say
Now
$2,
we're
so
planning
we
for
did.
the future.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's all.
Next is, mileage reimbursement. So, okay, this memorandum is to advise you that effective July 1st, 2026, the Internal Revenue Service, standard mileage reimbursement rate has increased to 76 cents per mile, up from 72.5 cents, per mile, which had been in effect since January 1st, 2026. Municipalities that reimburse employees based on the IRS standard mileage reimbursement rate, the new rate is effective July 1st, 2026. So, anybody, I guess, that uses their vehicle now for business, it's 76 cents.
Well, Sarah, we have to vote on that, right?
You do?
Right,
It's a state law, okay, then I'll make a motion.
I mean, the state recommendations, but if the town wants to be cheap, I don't think you have to hand it out, so let's vote on it so we know it's.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we raise the, per mile rate from 72.5% to, 5% to 76 cents per mile.
I will second that.
On the vote?
Aye.
Aye.
We're gonna,
We are all paying for gasoline, and the price of gasoline has gone up far more than that in the last 6 months.
Yes.
okay,
So it's really not appropriate.
well, that's the state's recommendation, and I feel that,
Speak up, please.
This by the line, right?
correct.
You multiply it.
Right, I know, we've got
Right.
to get down to the line.
Okay, next on the agenda is, C&M, Hot Dogs. They want, permission to, I guess, move their vehicle from the auto body shop up to soccer fields when there's soccer. And, we have all her paperwork, Board of Health insurance, she got what she needed from the building department. So, nobody has a problem with that.
I don't know, the only question I have, if she wants to do that, if somebody else decides they wanna do, going with food wagon, how are we gonna decide who's allowed and who's not?
As long as they have all the right paperwork.
Right.
We don't have more than one.
Did they ever have I never had anything there before, right?
We haven't decided where it's actually set up, but this is just to allow her to be there. What were you saying, I'm sorry?
I'm just kinda like, how do we, you know, somebody else comes in, what do we say? Cause we don't. I don't know, I think we should, maybe discuss it and table it till the next meeting,
Yeah,
just to hash it out.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think so. I'll second that.
Okay. Well then, all right, so you made a motion, second, to table till next meeting, vote. Okay. All right, also,
Well, you could bring it up when we discuss it.
okay, you wanna go to that next? I was gonna go down the agenda. I'm gonna bring up intermittent, I guess would be, animal control officer, which, make the motion to appoint Councilman Fazio to do that in the interim. So until we appoint a new,
Oh gee, am I supposed to say thank you?
well,
That's okay.
But I know,
what,
Yeah, that's next.
but,
we are,
We have a few more days, won't we?
we are.
okay, I understand.
So, I'll make the motion that, Councilman Fazio be appointed temporary or interim animal control officer, till we appoint the new animal control officer. I vote. Aye.
I understand.
Okay,
Can we
let's
talk
go.
about, a race?
No, no raises.
You just got one, till we fix that tomorrow.
That's right. You're gonna have to drive back up for July. Okay, the next, item is, we're going to hire a new animal control officer, and, I'll make the motion to appoint Pat Spinelli.
I will second that motion.
Any discussion, gentlemen? No? Okay, on the vote? Aye.
When does she start?
Monday, I believe.
Okay.
That's what he.
So you're doing control till Monday?
Correct.
So we have a cat control girl.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's it.
dog catcher.
Okay, also, we're gonna appoint right now a part-time clerk for the planning board and zoning board. And I guess after 2 weeks, she becomes, full-time. Is that, have we left off with her?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll make the motion to appoint Arlene Christiana as the, for now, part-time planning board, zoning board clerk. And then in 2 weeks, she'll become, our full-time, planning board, zoning board clerk.
I will second that motion.
Any discussion? On the vote? Aye. Okay. This next issue is from the town of Gardner. I don't know if that's copies. Okay, what they're doing is, they wanna see about us taking lead agency on a project that is right over the Plattekill line, which was the old, actually where the old Strawman mine was. Barney Hanson started subdividing it, so it's right over the town of Plattekill line.
This looks more like they're asking for consent, for them to be the lead agency.
They are, but they have to circulate it and.
Right, but you said they wanted us to.
Well, no, what I said, I guess what I was trying to say is, they wanted to get our, which I told them we're not interested, but we have to vote on it. But the discussion I did have are two things. One, that I want, the clerk to send them a letter stating that, to the planning board and the supervisor, and to request that their entrance come come off of 32, opposite, Jenkins Road there. For two reasons. One, to alleviate the traffic off South Ohioville, because all that traffic is gonna be on South Ohioville. And the other, it's gonna be a shorter route for, the fire department, because that's Gardner's, fire district. And it'll be a shorter distance for them to come up, 44 to 208 across the Jenkinstown versus coming all the way around. And if not, it could also possibly put strain on Modena Fire Department, because if not, Modena may have to respond because we're closer. So, I want that letter to go to them, at least let them know that that's our concern. So,
And actually, it would affect highway also, right, South Ohioville?
yes, but,
And it's Platte Hills Highway. so-
correct, but I told them that, I said, it's gonna be a lot more extra traffic coming on our town road that, we don't need. So, I guess then what we need to do is, I guess, make a motion that we don't want to become lead agency, but on the other hand, I also want a letter to go to them stating what I just said, that you guys don't object to that.
I agree with you.
Okay, I mean, anybody else have anything to say?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
All right, so then,
Let's take a vote, we don't want the agency, like,
correct. Want to make the motion?
make a motion that we don't become lead agency.
Okay, I'll second it. On the vote? Aye. Okay, at this time, we'll open up the floor to public input at, 7:49.
I'll second that.
On the vote? Okay, excuse me? So, anybody's got anything to say, now's the time. State your name, please.
Gladys Figueroa. The whole thing with the political, the tents are not allowed in the park. There's no literature or nothing political. What about if,
Because it becomes one big litter.
okay, that's fine. What if, the politician comes in and wants to,
So we can't stop a politician from coming in and introducing themselves to the people, because politicians are town citizens. So we can't stop them from coming in, shaking hands, it's just, we don't want all the material there, we don't want tents, all the signs all over the yard.
I mean, originally, there wasn't, and at some point, it changed.
yeah, that would be funny.
A lot of people have objected to it over the years, so as you brought back to our attention, so I guess, the best thing to do is leave it out of it. Okay?
I agree, I just wanted to get a little clarification.
Yeah, and so who's ever running for whatever office it is more than welcome to show up at Flag Day and shake hands and everything. It's just, we don't need the literature handed out. If you wanna leave literature in your truck, somebody wants a piece of literature, they can meet you at your vehicle.
It would be no different than if you went to the fireworks for the National Night Out.
Correct.
Right.
It's just, we don't want the tent that says Flag Republican
No.
Committee.
It's not that, we didn't bring it up. People in the audience brought it
Brought
up.
it to us,
We
correct.
did what they wanted.
We're addressing
what
the
they
issue
wanted
that was
us
brought
to do,
to
which
us.
that's what we're here for. Most of the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's go. A while back, I had come and asked the board about, for the Citizen of the Year, we need a new, plaque for the hall. And, there was I submitted, somebody who had checked out the price. But is this something where you have to do the 3 bids and find out where you're gonna buy this plaque, or is the amount so low that it's under the threshold? In other words, Platicille Day's coming up next month.
How,
Are you gonna
how
have-
expensive are these plaques? I mean, probably go on Amazon.
No.
Get some.
Do you remember how much it was?
I do not, so they were given all the information.
Yeah, you were given, let's say, I don't remember, around $100 or something, maybe.
Okay.
Do you have a threshold? To have 3 bids?
I don't think it's a couple $100 we do, so.
No.
That shouldn't be an issue.
I'll look at the paperwork. I don't give it to your secretary.
That's fine, thank you. Anyone else? All right, well, if nobody else has anything to say, then I guess I'll make the motion, 7:52. We close the public input.
Second.
A vote?
Aye.
Is there anything you want to say?
You got your resolution.
Yeah, we have one.
Oh, okay.
Take Larry, Mike Larry.
Well, we got to do resolution.
Yeah, that's right, that was for listening. Okay. I got it. Unless you wanna read it.
You can read it.
Oh, thanks. Okay, the town board, resolution number 41, town of Platteville, Ulster County, New York. Resolution approving stormwater control facility maintenance agreement and accepting the enforcement rights of a declaration of negative easement and restrictive covenants for the Minor Farms subdivision, Minor Farms LLC. Whereas the Minor Farms declarant and facility owner of certain approved lands located at 730 South Street, Highland, New York, 12528, identified as tax map SPL numbers 102.2-7-11.2 and 102.2-6.25.11. Whereas on May 27, 2025, the planning board of the town of Platteville granted conditional final subdivision approval for the 4-lot residential conservation subdivision known as the Minor Farm subdivision. Whereas as a condition of said subdivision approval and pursuant to section 110-48, what's that, one or I, whatever it is, I of town of Platteville zoning laws, the declaration is required to establish a permanent 69 plus or minus acre open space conservation area to be a declaration of negative easement and restrictive covenants to restrict the use of the remaining subdivision lands in perpetuity. And whereas section 7 of the proposed declaration grants the town of Platteville the absolute right, but not the obligation, to enter upon the premise and enforce the terms, covenants, and conditions of the open space conservation area. Whereas a further condition of subdivision approval requires the facility owners to execute and record town of Platteville stormwater control and facility maintenance agreement to ensure the long-term maintenance and operation of approval stormwater management systems in perpetuity. Whereas draft copies of both instruments have been submitted by Michael Moriello Esquire for town board authorization and acceptance. Now therefore be resolved by the town board of the town of Platteville, Ulster County, New York, as follows. Approval of stormwater agreement. The town board hereby approves the town of Platteville stormwater control facility maintenance agreement by and between the town of Platteville and Minor Farms LLC. Town supervisor is authorized and directed to execute said agreement on behalf of the town. Acceptance, conservation easement enforcement rights. The town board hereby accepts the third-party enforcement rights granted to the town of Platteville under section 7 of the declaration of negative easement and restrictive covenants for open space conservation area, lands of Minor Farms LLC. Recording requirements in accordance with the terms of both instruments. Declarant facility owner shall at its sole expense record the fully executed stormwater control facility maintenance agreement and declaration of negative easement within the office of the Ulster County Clerk immediately following the filing of the approval final subdivision map. Proof of filing. Proof of said filing shall be provided to the town of Platteville Planning Board via a dated receipt issued by the Ulster County Clerk. Effective date, resolution shall take effect immediately. So, I guess I'll make a motion, to accept these terms. Is it reference to this?
Yes.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we table this.
Fine.
I have to contact the building department, section 102, I do not believe is in the town of Platteville.
Where'd they get them from?
There is this.
All right, then, I'll second the motion to table it then.
Not on that road that goes like that.
Wait, so I got a second on the floor to table this. On the vote? Aye. Okay, then we'll bring this up next meeting. I'm sorry, guys, my next question.
That's not
Oh.
a town of Plattekill.
What are you talking about?
As far as I know, never has been.
And that's why we're tabling it.
Because on South Street, the housing on one side is in the town of Lloyd,
Correct.
and the housing on the other side is in the town of Plattekill. So our line only goes to South Street, and it turns the corner where the little bar used to be.
I just wanna confirm.
Okay, that's not a problem, then, we can do that, table till then.
It's supposed to go depending on where you.
Well, that's
where you
true.
are on the hill.
Right,
I know I'm right.
okay, you don't need to go to executive session.
He is, right?
Oh. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, before you go into executive session, the amount of the estimated plat was $400. So it's
$400?
$200. Yeah, I'll send you the copy that I was just sending.
All right, well, we'll discuss it. Okay. Then, then I'll make a motion, we have to go into, executive session personnel at, 7:59.
Second.
The vote? Aye. Okay. Here we go, back. Okay, I'd like to make a motion, 8:07, that we came out of, executive session.
Second.
On the vote? Aye. Okay. Last order of business. Okay, I'll make a motion. Supervisor, I guess I'll make a motion myself. A general fund in the amount of $85,735.82. And the DA highway fund in the amount of $2,597.01. For a grand total amount of $88,332.83. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
On the vote?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
There you go.
Good evening.
No, that's like your finger.
Yeah.
So if your car needs your